So you mentioned extreme metal drummers you were looking up to. Who would these be?
Dave Haley from Psychroptic. He's a good friend of mine, and he's one of my favorite metal drummers. The guy's phenomenal. And I'm always trying to steal ideas from him, and whenever I have any problems with something, or can't figure out like how to get comfortable playing something, he's the guy I go to. I talk to him, and he's got such a great approach and a great way to look at it. Because with this kind of drumming, a lot of it's mental. It's about relaxing and being able to use your muscles the right way and not use your nerves. And he's one that I really look up to. Nick Barker has always been one of my favorite drummers. And
I'm surprised he's not around.
I would love for him to be around. Actually, he might be around tomorrow or the next day. I can't remember. Sometimes he shows up. Sometimes. He's one of my favorite drummers. I love him a lot. And as far as like the extreme guys, doing the clinics, George Coley is pretty much, he's on top. I mean, that dude is owning the death metal world. I mean, he's legit and he does everything right in my opinion. Like he's like the fastest. He hits super hard. You know what I mean? He's not cheating in any sort of way or cutting corners. The guy. He's creative, he's just a very well-rounded drummer. He's like the perfect death metal drummer. I mean, I have no interest in being that fast. I really don't. You know what I mean? Like, fast is fast, but there is a point where I don't even want to play that fast. Like, I care more about stuff that I can't do these days. You know what I mean? Like, I respect a lot of drummers that do stuff that I just have no idea how to play that kind of stuff. I want to take lessons in the future. And so I don't feel like I'm necessarily the authority to tell anybody how to do anything. I mean, I give lessons sometimes when I'm at home, and that's really rewarding for me. But and it helps people, and I like that. But the best thing I can suggest is like this is the way I do it, and it may not work the best for you, but I can maybe give you this bit of advice just from experience. But those, to name a couple, are like my favorite.
Next one is even more personal, because I remember reading somewhere that you were straight edge.
Yes.
Do you find it difficult to maintain it on the road?
No, not at all. It's actually like, it's funny, to somebody who isn't straight edge or never would be, it might, to them, I can understand how it would be like an obstacle, like, well, wouldn't that be difficult to do? But to somebody who is on the opposite side of the fence, it's completely different. Like for me, there's no desire to do anything. You know what I mean? Like I drank a little bit when I was younger, before I was even old enough to drink. All my friends were, and I tried it. And I wasn't good at it. And so I figured out quickly that it wasn't for me. And I never did anything else outside of that. I never smoked weed and smoked cigarettes and stuff. It was just never for me. And so there's like zero desire, zero temptation for me. So it's actually really easy. And I'm around a lot of drunk people a lot. And you really get to see how annoying people can be, or how they make such big fools of themselves. And that's fine. I encourage everyone to have a good time, because I mean, we live once. Let's have a good time, But yeah, it's just not for me.
When you're not on tour, do you need to have a special workout regime to maintain yourself in shape? Because after all, drumming is tiring.
It's very tiring. I do work out. I go to the gym and try to stay in shape. I'm not able to get in there as often as I'd like, it seems, but I still practice. When I'm at home. I know my body, and I know how it works in between tours, so I know how long I can get away with just totally relaxing and not thinking about it. And then I know when I have to get in there and start putting in the work. And usually after like 6 days of like actually like really getting in there and playing, it gets back on track pretty quick. You know what I mean? Like when you condition yourself that well. And we don't take too long of breaks between tour, unless we're writing. And if we're writing, I'm playing all the time anyway. So it's just practicing, keeping up on it. That's the biggest thing. You want to stay so on top of it that when you go out and you play live, it's not a big deal.
What do you do outside of music? What makes you tick?
I do a lot of things. I have a lot of hobbies. I'm a PC gamer, so I play a lot of video games.
Oh, what do you play?
Right now I'm playing Skyrim. Of course,
You and the
everybody's
rest of
playing.
the planet.
Yeah, I know. Well, how could you not? It's that good of a game. I was playing. I just had my other gaming laptop stolen about a month and a half ago, so I'm starting a lot of things over now. But I was playing The Witcher 2, another RPG. Just any shooter I can get my hands on.
You
Like,
wouldn't happen to have played World of Warcraft by any chance?
no, I never got into MMOs. The only game I play online would be like Battlefield 3 or like some of the older Call of Duty titles. And that's because I get so competitive and I don't like people. People that play online at least. So I would get real mad pretty quick and probably smash everything. But no, I tend to gravitate more towards like single player games. That way I can take them on tour with me and kill a lot of downtime. But I collect anything Star Wars related for the most part, old Star Wars stuff. I seem to get tattooed fairly often.
And that was my next question, because quite frankly,
Yeah,
that
stuff healing and you can see the Star Wars right there.
well, yeah. So is getting tattooed a hobby of yours?
Not necessarily.
Come on, let's see them.
Well, they're all hidden, but I wouldn't say it's a hobby. More so, it's just like something I've been doing for like the past 10 years or better. My wife tattoos, so I'm kind of not, I wouldn't say necessarily involved, but like I'm around it a lot, and
It gets tempting, apparently.
Oh, of course it does. Of course, she's always showing me, killer artists, and she's a killer artist, so I mean, I'm seeing it all the time. Of course, you're gonna end up wanting it. You're gonna want to get more tattoos and stuff. But yeah, I as far as hobbies outside of the music, I like being like I'm from like the mountains pretty much, like mountains and farms is like what I grew up around, so I like being around that. So I guess I kind of like redneck stuff, like I like trucks and
NASCAR?
I don't really like NASCAR. There's nothing wrong with it. It just never it never did anything for me, just because I mean guys driving around in circles kind of boring. But now like monster trucks, that's more exciting.
Well, yeah. Big machines.
Yeah,
Was not to
yeah.
love.
Like I said, I just picked up the banjo, so that's a new hobby. So,
Do you listen to country music?
I love country music. I grew up on it, and when you go through your teenage years and your like early 20s, you tend to want to like you rebel against everything. You know what I mean? Especially if your parents like it. You know what I mean? So of course I found punk and metal, and then it was like all down from there. I didn't want to hear anything but that, and I got in my 20s and I started touring, and the more I played metal and the more I
started to miss it.
The more I just realized that, you get tired of it. You know what I mean? And I grew out of a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I still enjoy it. Obviously, I play it every night, but like I don't really listen to it that often. You know what I mean? Just because I want to be able to. I don't want to dread playing a show every night. Because I don't want to hate metal. So I don't really listen to it that much anymore. I kind of went back to my roots. In my later 20s and moved back home, living back in Virginia again, and yeah, I don't know, it's just what speaks to me, so I love country, and my downtime I like playing it, it's fun for me.
What else, aside from country, what else do you listen to?
I mean, I'll listen to a lot of everything, really. I'm not really closed-minded, I don't listen to like anything like indie music or any of the really emo stuff like that. I just can't get into it. But I like bluegrass as well. It's closely related to country, and it's the banjo thing kind of, And the area I'm from is kind of like around the where bluegrass came from. So I can get into that too. I think when people get older, they can learn to appreciate more music, and they're not so hung up on, I gotta look cool, I gotta only listen to this music, you know what I mean? And I don't want anybody to know, listen to this, I think when you get older, you realize that it's fine, and who cares, you know what I mean? Like, I like what I like, and I don't give a shit who likes what I like, you know what I mean? You don't have to like it. But that's just what I like. So
You guys find yourself in an enviable position because with the situation of the music industry and not only being the way it is, a lot of bands find themselves put in financial difficulties. How do you see the music industry, especially the metal part of it?
well, of course everything's gonna take a hit, you know what I mean? But people still spend their money on music. They really do. You know what I mean? Like when times are tough, when people are upset in life, well, what do you want to do? You want to listen to music. You know what I mean? When you're upset, what's the first thing you do? You listen to something that talks to you. So music still is something that people will always spend money on, I think. But I think bands need to be really smart with their money. You know what I mean? Too many bands spend money that they shouldn't be spending. Certain bands end up on buses on every tour, and it's like, well, you can afford it, but you can't afford it. You know what I mean? You're paying for it, but then you're gonna go home with no money. So, it's being smart and not doing things you shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean? Spending excess money, and everyone wants to take out 100 different crew members, and not do any of the work themselves. But if you just do the work yourself, you'll have more money at the end of the day. I don't know. I just think I think a lot of people are careless, and the music scene is so fickle nowadays because there's so many kinds of bands, and we see the trendy stuff come and go within a year.
And then nobody remembers what it was about.
Right. Exactly. And those trends just seem to do these big circles. They come and go. But I mean, I think the music scene will be fine. You know what I mean?
Even with the downloading and everything.
Yeah, they find ways around it. You know what I mean? Like the real fans will download, and if they like it, they'll buy it. Or they'll, because a lot of them will come to shows, they'll buy the disc and want to get it signed,
or even look at iTunes. It wouldn't be a success if people wouldn't be willing to pay for digital music,
right,
would it?
Right. People are still paying. So I mean, there is a way around it. Granted, iTunes did kind of crush the industry a bit, but as long as there's internet, there's going to be downloading. But on the flip side, the internet is the ultimate free marketing tool. So now there's a lot of bands that have careers that wouldn't have had them before the internet. So in a sense, it can do great things and also destroy them. So I think it'll be fine. It's gonna probably go through some more changes in the future, but people will always want music, no matter what.
You may have noticed in the past, 3 to 5 years, we see a revival of the 80s style of music. A lot of old bands come back. How do you feel about that? Are any of your old favorite bands coming back from the dead?
Yeah. Well, I like it when bands reunite to do like another tour or two, or maybe even put out a new record. Like Carcass doing it is like huge, and I'm a big fan of that. And when At the Gates reunited, I freaked out. I finally got to see them, which is like a dream come true. And but there's a lot of like this whole throwback thing happening where these younger bands are trying to be these 80s like thrash bands again. I'm seeing it a lot lately. Even like the dressing like it and everything. That whole revival thing. And while it's cool and I dig the music and I dig the whole dress code, it's not something that's gonna last because it's becoming a trendy thing. You know what I mean? And as soon as something becomes popular, the trend is over.